Do you have a bio written up, or maybe more than one? I'm learning to thrive in the gig economy. Would you like to learn too? I was telling you the last few weeks about a new client that I took on where I didn't quite meet a deadline, but I got the project done, and the client was happy about it. A few days ago, they reached out to me and they said, "Oh, by the way, can you send us a short bio? We want to put at the end of the project about you." Of course, I had one already written, and I sent that off. And even though they didn't ask for it, I sent a headshot. Every entrepreneur should have at least one bio and one good headshot, because you never know when a client's going to want one. And you ought to be volunteering them as much as possible. For instance, you say, well, I'm a writer and editor, so of course I need a bio to put at the end of an article. Okay, that's true. But what if you're, say, a baker, and you're baking cake for some big celebration at a company? Well, if you're smart, you're going to have a bio written up, and maybe even a photo of yourself, because you can say to them, hey, are you going to announce this in your newsletter? You're going to put it on your internal website or something. Here's a little bio of me and a photo. It'd be great if you throw that on as well. It's free marketing for you. Get your name out there. And if you're like me and you offer more than one service, you ought to have more than one bio. Do you have a bio already written? If you do, hit the like button. I'd be curious to see how many people already have a bio written. What I have is I have 3, technically 4, already put together. And I'll tell you why. Because one is when I'm actually being a reporter, when I'm actually writing an article for someplace, I focus on my reporting background. The fact that I worked at Bloomberg, the fact that I worked at the Associated Press, I've written all these different places. All right? Then if I'm working for a PR agency or something like that, I focus on the fact that I've written for a variety of sources. My clients include lawyers, accountants, wellness coaches, and I've written reports, I've written press releases, I've written blog posts, I've written social media. Then, if I'm doing something with public speaking, I have a short bio that talks about my public speaking experiences, the awards I've won, the workshops that I do. And the fourth one, which I don't use that often, is I do have one that explains my history in online selling, that I've been an online seller for 22 years now. I've watched eBay and Amazon grow, and I've really sort of focused not so much on it, but I've kept up with all of the advances and updates on it. So if somebody asks me for a short bio that they want to include in something, I just pull right up and shoot it out. I don't even have to think about it because I've got them already written. They don't have to be very long, 2 or 3 paragraphs. What services you provide, some experience about yourself. If there's something that you want to add for a particular client, throw it in there. It doesn't have to be long, but you ought to have it already written up ahead of time. You ought to have a nice headshot ahead of time. Now, my suggestion is when I went and got my headshot, I got a headshot, and then I got almost like a full body, like 3/4 body from like the waist up. Nobody ever uses that shot. I wouldn't bother with that again if it were up to me. I just keep a nice simple headshot, but have one for yourself, because you never know when you're going to be able to market yourself. And people like to see your face, so put it out there. If a client does something and you say to them, hey, if you're going to put it in your newsletter, here's a little information for you. If you're going to put it up on a bulletin board, hey, here's some information for you. Always have it ready. Always offer it. And you'll be surprised how much it'll come back in benefits to you. If you find this useful, please hit the like button, hit the share button. YouTube really wants to see that, and subscribe. And talk to you next week.